And there's a clown above all the other scary shit. And the clown's still here. What happened out there?
So like I was saying, basically we need more than just scary clown, and this show really hits different.
Yeah.
Because of that? Like,
there's more than just scary clown.
That's right. And absolutely there is, and your characters are truly at the center of it, because I feel like Stephen King has always brought important conversations into his sensational, fun, scary stories. Mm-hmm. But this show is taking that to another level. And like, because Taylor, you're just coming off of the release of Toxic Avenger, where your character, coincidentally, is also like a truth teller, fighting for what's right, like, gonna fix this world. And that's what I see here, too. Like, can you talk about how it is for you being in these, like, really popular 80s properties as, like, this total badass, like, standing up for yourself and for everyone around you?
Justice at the forefront.
Yes!
Yeah, it's just, I guess that's how I want to put beautiful things into the world, even if the process is ugly or the at face value, it's horror. But the heart of this is something true. Charlotte has something true, has a lot to offer, and is probably born in the wrong time.
Ahead of her time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and granted, Toxic Avenger, I shot that 4 years ago. So it's just funny that has informed, we shot this in 2023, 2024.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting? And they're coinciding at a time where we need it the most.
Energy is timeless.
That's right.
And limitless. So now is now. Now is the time.
Yes.
Now is the time, because there's that line in the show that there is nothing that's wrong with this country that can't be fixed by what's right with this country. Mm-hmm. I was like, I just stop it for a second. I was like, that is a line I'm going to return to when I feel really bad about things.
Well, because at our like the human, we have the human condition. We're complicit, but then it's like we have a sense it doesn't have to be this way. Mm-hmm. We have a sense that it could be different. And that's kind of what keeps us marching toward it.
Hope.
But there's this hope. That's
yes.
it. And without it, it's futile.
Right? Exactly.
But it's a paradox, because you're like, well, who created all of this shit?
Us. Uh-oh. You're right. And I was kind of thinking about your work recently too, like working with these auteur directors, because Andy has such a point of view and such an aesthetic and such a reason for what he's doing.
Absolutely. And
you're also working with Christopher Nolan. Same ballpark, really different vibes.
Yeah, totally.
So can you talk about those differences, and they're both very important to us right now?
Yeah, I think it's just because they're filmmakers that know exactly what they want when they're telling their stories. I think, and that's the type of filmmaker that I always enjoy fighting for an opportunity to work with, because if you come in with actors that have their own kind of idea about how they want to build a character, and you have yours as well, but you're still, bless you, but you're still open enough to want to collaborate and hear their side and point of view and talk it out together and find common ground and then pursue that common ground together. I think that's just the formula for interesting characters, interesting story, movement, and just, interesting interactions between the other characters as well. And I think, like you said, they're both very important to our film culture, and I feel lucky to get to work with both of them.
Yeah, it's also important to the audience as well.
Absolutely.
That's why we care.
Absolutely. And I think you get the idea, and you've seen some of the episodes, that Andy and Barbara really do care about this piece of property. I think they've had it for a while. They've done it. They're pros at it. They've got it figured out, but they're like, okay, how do we take what we've already done and build upon it more, and take the time that maybe we didn't necessarily have in the films to really show what it's like for these people, on a day-to-day basis, plus the, like you said, sensational element of the clown.
Right. And there's a clown.
And there's a clown above all the other scary shit. And the clown's still here. Yeah.
I was thinking that there's sort of a timelessness about this, but also a timeliness.
Yeah.
Because there are this is a story that is like largely told in this version by people of color.
Right.
And I think that's the reason that it hits different.
Yeah.
It gives it, and all of a sudden I'm like, I'm not just watching a Pennywise show.
Right.
And it gives me chills because I'm like, this is how you reach people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's going to be an interesting. I'm curious to see exactly what the reception looks like, because I remember what it was like when we were announced, when it was first announced who the main cast members were, and social media just had such an uproar because I guess a lot of fans were worried that this story of Derry wasn't going to have Pennywise at all, and so they were like, oh, if Pennywise isn't
They were
here, it's
worried
not
it
worth.
would be flattened,
Yeah.
or maybe they were a little bit racist.
And there's a
or
lot of
maybe-
people who did not read the books, who did not realize there was a black spot, who did not realize there were black people in Derry. And so what was funny is that people who are really fans of the material came in and were like fighting on the behalf of like,
The
did
Stephen King
you read the
warriors.
book, bro?
Yeah,
It was
right,
kind of like that.
exactly.
Kind
There
of
are, the Hanlons, and there were the black spot, which is completely made up of black Air Forcemen and stuff. So I'm curious that, and I'm hopeful that people will be like, oh, like you said, this is something that because it's a different story, it's a different part of Derry that hasn't been on screen yet.
And
It's fresh.
It's both overt, but also a metaphor.
Yes.
It's everything at once. Like it goes deep.
It does go deep.
And then, but once again, it is also some scary about a clown, and the imagery in this is like shocking.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
right?
So, was there ever, I know a lot of this was mostly like not necessarily seen by you in the moment, like it came later as like a CG element or whatever. Was there ever a time when you felt truly unsettled during the shooting of the series?
I don't know if I felt unsettled, because I've done quite a few horror things before, and I just know that there's so much like choreography and stuff that goes into it that like it kind of takes you out of it. I didn't really like being in the tunnels, just because, but it's just because it was gross. Like it wasn't gross. We weren't actually, it was a set, but it was just being in like dark environment with water, and there's more of a practical danger involved.
Right.
With like that was more scary to me and unsettling for
I'd
me.
agree. Those were long days.
Man,
Those were long days. The energy was off too. There was like a communication
thing.
Those
That added
days.
to the-
Yeah, and I often feel, because I think the energy, it is. Look, when you awaken that energy, I do think it like comes out in different ways. In my opinion, it's not the clown, but things get a little shifty and
Right.
weird. You know?
Where did they rebuild the tunnels? They used to be in Toronto. Were they back in Toronto?
Yeah, we were in Toronto.
I wonder if they left them up. Do you know?
No,
if
they rebuilt them.
Okay, because I was going to say, I've seen them. Do you know when we did that set visit? They said, what size galoshes are you?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I said, what did you ask me? And they were like,
Galoshes.
boots. We're going to give you rain boots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're tromping through, and it's upsetting.
Yeah, right.
Well, if you're sitting in it for hours, but I mean, it's a part of
I
it's
mean,
a part of
granted, they
filmmaking.
did make
yeah.
it warm.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, thank God. Oh, nice.
Thank God, yeah.
They made
You
it
didn't
warm.
They
have
got a heater for you.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
had to put heater in there because there were certain elements of the tunnel that were drop off. So if you had, those calf high boots, that wasn't working because we were up here in water, And I feel relatively comfortable in water, but some of the other guys were not. And just like I was like, you're not going to drown, bro. It's like you can feel the floor. But
That is not me. I am not comfortable in that water.
No?
I have to go now, but I do not want to. Just for the record. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Good to see y'all.
Thank you. Good to see you.
What is it?